wall.
Sorry.
And we're just cueing the lower back there, making sure that there's no pelvic movement going on as we extend through the legs. As you can see now, it becomes much more of a stability type movement. There's a lot more muscle involved in stabilization. She's now extending through the fingers with a pointed foot. And we move to the other side. This is a very challenging movement. We're looking for that elongation of the spine all the way through the arms, all the way through the legs. We also work this at different speeds. Sometimes we can hold that up to 5 seconds, sometimes for a second. It's good to mix it up. And that's the completion of the exercise. We're now introducing you to what we call the Fitness Cube, which is a portable home gym system that can be used anywhere. We're now showing you the movement of a military press, which is going to work your shoulders, working your deltoids. We just sitting upright, feet on the floor, lifting up through the top of the head, tucking in the chin. Posture is very important in all these movements. And then we raise up above the head, and we're working on the negative aspect of the movement here, concentrating on the negatives as we go up into the positive part of the movement, keeping the stomach pulled in and really focusing on the form of the movement. Really working on those negatives. Nice part about this equipment is that you can do it in any location. It's not a heavy machine, so it's very portable. Now we're going to do an upright row. Again, we're just checking that the spine is in a neutral alignment. This exercise is going to focus on your deltoids and your upper back. It also works the middle of the trapezius. Again, we're focusing on the negative aspect of the movement, the downward phase of the movement. Now we're moving into a seated cable row, which targets the middle of the trapezius. Secondary muscle is the biceps. Again, we're checking that again, before we move, we're just going to check that we have correct form. The sternum is lifted, raising up through the head, tucking in the chin, keeping the elbows close to the body. And again, we're going to focus on that negative part of the movement. And as we pull in, we're going to exhale. And as we move out into the negative, we're going to inhale. Again, keeping that neck in a neutral alignment, elbows close to the body. And really focusing on that mid-trapezius area, keeping the hips stable. Now we're readjusting the machine. Now we're moving into a bent over row position, and we are putting on a leg strap, and now we just check that we have the elongation of the spine, hips are square, the pelvic is tilted slightly inwards, that we have a good postural alignment, just tucking in from lengthening the cervical area, tucking in the chin, and just checking that we have no side to side pelvic tilt as we extend back. This movement is going to target the gluteal muscles, also the abductors. It's also going to involve working a little on the spinal erector muscles. The person's interested in purchasing the Fitness Cube. If you go to our website on ultimatelife.com, you will see the link and you can click onto it. We're now working on some involuntary balance work, or proprioception as it's known. The idea of this is neurologically it's very challenging. We're going to be thrown off balance. It's going to be challenged. The ball, we don't know where that ball is going, and we're really working on our core muscles. Those transverse muscles of the abdominals are working. Here he's extending his legs out, and just challenging the body overall. Again, it's a balance movement, working on those deep core muscles. Movements that we're not familiar with. Here he has his eyes closed, which makes it extremely difficult to balance. Neurologically, it engages just about every muscle in the body. Here we're just doing feet off the ground, total balance movement. Very challenging to the body. Here we're moving into a on top of the Swiss ball. And we're going to try to do a complete balance movement. These movements in the beginning when you first work with the Swiss ball are very challenging, but after a little bit of practice you can find that you'll be able to build up your time on the ball. Alright?
Yep, good.
Super.